Hello everyone, welcome back for some more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're moving on to the Return of the Great Departed Soul, which is a reference to, I've been told about this now, the return of Sherlock Holmes, which we know is his story after the Reichenbach Falls. And you might be like, dang, for someone who doesn't seem to know a lot about Sherlock Holmes, you sure know about that. And the answer is quite simple. Fate. Anyways, let's move on in. Feels like a big deal. This one feels like just the name of it and everything. Oh yeah, we're going in on the Ottoman Turkey, Austrian Empire, United Kingdom, the Great Wheel. Okay.
The grand end of the century Great Exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it.
Look at this Spagonia.
Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success.
What is that? That's a fish thing.
As regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Sherlock Holmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case.
Is this a...
And like the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park, Holmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
Is this going to be a chapter where we play as Sholmes, perhaps?
We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people.
Huh.
The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Well, this is where the murder's going to take place. Who's these guys? I don't trust the guy in the suit.
The 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world. Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies.
William N. Turner. Pirates of the Caribbean?
And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Oh, are we just doing the Prestige? I think we're just doing the Prestige. Maybe? No, this is not the Prestige. He's not getting in there to teleport. Never mind.
High voltage electricity and beamed to another location.
We are literally doing the Prestige.
Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
Hey, so you realize that, and this is the thing that happens with all teleportation, when you teleport, you die. Yes, there is a perfect clone of you that is assembled at the location with the memories intact and everything, which would then mean you continue on, but you die. And I don't think there's any evidence that proves that if you were to teleport, killed in the process, and then reassembled somewhere, if you're to you, it would be like transferring just straightforward, right? Because they wouldn't know, right? Because what happens to you is you die. The person there would be like, yes, I remember everything. It's just like it is, but that's just because it's a reassembled other you, right? I don't think I'd ever want to teleport. He's gonna die. Look at this jaunty fellow.
In but a few moments from now.
Am I right in calling it the Prestige? You know what? I'm gonna look it up because if I'm getting the wrong movie title, I'm pretty sure it's the Prestige. Right? Psychological thriller set in London about two rival magicians. Yep, that's the one. Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman. Oh, that one's about Nikola Tesla. Right, Tesla's in there. Okay. Interesting.
This gentleman will
Been a while since I've seen that.
complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you!
In some ways, I almost prefer this to the anime cutscenes. That guy's in there's pretty chill. Oh, no longer chill. Well, 22nd of October, 9:36 a.m., Sholmes' suite. Oh no, we are still Ryunosuke. Runo, are you listening? Oh, sorry. What was that, Iris? What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast? Oh, no, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again? Today's paper. It's full of news about the great exhibition again. Oh yeah, the great exhibition. I'd like to go sometime. You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. Don't you agree, Hurley? Oh, well. Did you say something, Iris? Oh, gosh, you're even more down. He's really down. Are you out of your stash, buddy? Oh, never mind. When did you arrive, Mr. Naruhodo? I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I thought you might have known I was here, because... Breakfast? Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much that I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. What? Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes clearly can be deduced, therefore, that... let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has, ever since we first met, in fact. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Ha 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 ha! Thanks again. Yeah. It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now. 6 months? Since I was forbidden from working in court. Okay, so now we're moving on ahead. Okay. So I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned, which would make sense if the Crystal Tower exhibition's on, yeah. Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley? Did you say something, Iris? Oh, back to moping. Boy, smiles all around here. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? He seems even more down in the dumps than me. I know, and the great exhibition is opened. You'd think he'd be excited. Oh, why don't we all go see it together? I want to, of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. So you're embroiled in some tricky case you can't be distracted from, is that it? I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley. I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Are you currently solving a thing from the shadows, or... Tell me about 6 months ago. Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl in a trial heard at the Old Bailey. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery turned out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable, yet at the same time unforgivable mistake.
Words fail me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, my lord. I wasn't wearing the outfit at the time, but just go with it.
Now decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing. You have, haven't you, Runo? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room, and the notes about Sholmes' old cases. Brewing Iris's special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me. You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Master Naruhodo. Stop. You're giving the shippers more fuel. Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna ask the powers that be to reconsider. Specifically Lord Stronghart at the British Supreme Court on Whitehall. Lord Stronghart? The delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favorite fellow. He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk. I think he's gonna be the final boss. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could, and I can't do that just sitting around here. Anyways, what's up with the Great Exhibition? The whole of London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of art and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching. Oh, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons. Look down onto... Do you mean those things? Fly? They fly now? They fly now? They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air. Are we gonna go like, well, Sholmes has enough of that. But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand it at all. That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first, but in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge. I suppose they might be. Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion. Well, there we go. Still, I wish I'd seen it, though. I'd love to see how bad some of those scam experiments really are. Oh, you're that type. You're an atrocity tourist. That's fair. Says the innocent 10-year-old girl. See here, every page of this paper carries some article or other about the Great Exhibition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that... try that again. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. I love that line, that's why I gave it a second go. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere. Interesting. Okay. Shadows cast behind. Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? Wait. Thank you. Thank you for being very explicit about that. Oh my god. Okay, wait, hold up. Okay, let's read the front first. 1 penny, 10 pages. Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibits from around the globe. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. We must all go see it properly before too long. Okay, yeah, okay, well. So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on there. Other than this rather gloomy looking one, that is. Wait, what? What's the matter, Runo? Lord Van Zeeks and compatriot cornered. Sorry, what is this fight that's going on? Who's his compatriot and who's he fighting? What? The Reaper attacked? Also, they just carry swords around? That's insane. Also, Altamont Gas Company. Wait, I want to read some of these. Wait, okay, so ruffians to intimidate man of justice, Lord okay, that's that one there. Fiery ball gown sets dance hall ablaze. Okay. French court hears glass eye case. the Juge de Paix of Neuilly is presented with the most curious case of a lady who refused to pay her dues for the purchase of one glass eye. The whole affair began when Madame Pluyet, the defendant, ordered the eyes a replacement. Okay, Altamont gas. I see. Hold up. I see the phrase, it appears that the winner will not even be a man, but rather a young American lady by the name of Maria Michelle of Nantucket. So there was not a man from Nantucket who knew how to win a contest. Okay. Anyways, that's Lord Van Zeeks. This must be Mr. Sholmes was talking about. Does he know any more, I wonder? I wish I could look more about Lost Cat. I bet you that's some developer's real cat. St. Bartholomew's Hospital. I like how they actually gave a lot of detail to this. First matter of transportation, London, Britain, and the Industrial Revolution, industrialization perspective, Tower garners worldwide acclaim. They really actually went in on that, and I like that. Anyways, are you okay, bud? Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? You could say that, I suppose. Nothing more to add, that's not like you. What sort of case is it? Shh! Quiet, Mr. Naruhodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening. You're acting very strangely, Hurley. What do you mean, Iris? Well, usually. The more mysterious and complicated cases, the better Hurley's mood. Is it a simple case? And that's what's bothering him? Is it really a case that's bothering you? Iris, please, you mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say, put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you're making deductions. You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes. Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my ways at once to the crime scene. That was a deep sigh. Anyways, you know about the Reaper? It says in the paper the Lord Van Zeeks was attacked. That's terrible. You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact. Yes, Prosecutor Baroque Van Zeeks. They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in a case, there's no salvation for who's ever in the docket. Even if the defendant is found not guilty. Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short. London's finest rogues always find ways around the law. Will stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper. As you've experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital is a never-ending supply of such scoundrels. So, do you mean Lord Van Zeeks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time? He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. He doesn't take these attacks lying down. In fact, he has quite good frame data when he fights those Marvel superheroes. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. Dante and Deadpool. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness. Is he alright then? Lord Van Zeeks hurt? My dear fellow, how on earth would I know? Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zeeks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition. Ah, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. No, I can't wait till tomorrow. In that case, you shall have to inquire with somebody in the know. But who? Lord Stronghart, perhaps? Oh. Well, I must be leaving now. Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes. Huh, you really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. What? You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you'd be wasting your time. The thought hadn't even crossed my mind, but now I'm wondering where you're going. Ha 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 ha! Well then, see you later indeed. Listen to him. He's still laughing on his way out of the door. What the frick are you wearing? All right then, Runo, let's get going. Look at this Witch from Mercury ass outfit. Oh, Iris, what are you wearing? I've got change to go to the great exhibition. You're going to take me. What is this alternate outfit meant to be? What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court. Oh, well that sounds fun too. You're going to take me then, there then. All right, fine, just lower that weapon, would you? Of course, and after the Supreme Court, then we'll go to see the great exhibition. I guess we obtained Iris, because yeah, we do need a partner, and Sussy-chan's gone. See, now everything's all here. Naruhodo's legal consultancy. What to do? I'm so excited about the prospect of Naruhodo's anything consultancy opening for business again. That's not what it's called. It's Naruhodo's legal consultancy. I've done a lot of studying in these past 6 months, reading law texts and judicial precedents. I'm sure I'm a better lawyer now. Can't wait to start practicing again. Nothing's changed in here at all, though, has it? It's as though time has stood still here since Susie went back to Japan. I wanted to keep it ready for Mr. Sato, in case she was able to return to Britain at any point. So I've just left everything the way it was. Oh, I see. Right. And there was me thinking it's because of the way you are, Runo. You know, never bothering to tidy up, I mean. Iris, this isn't the time or the place to bring up my tidiness, or lack of it. You have anything to say about some of the stuff, now that it's here? Kettle's gently simmering away there on the stove as usual. Probably a bad idea to leave that going while we leave, but alright. It was kind of Mrs. Sato to send that Japanese tea. You really like it, don't you, Iris? But for me, it's the sound of the stove and burbling kettle I like the most on biting winter mornings. And it feels even cozier in here when the delightful Iris pours the tea for me. I really couldn't manage without that wonderful young girl. Oh, Runo, it's so sweet of you to say so. Stop putting words in my mouth, please, Iris. Japanese tea set. Miss Sasato's tea set that she left here with me. I still think green tea is just too bitter, though. Thank goodness for sugar and milk. Mr. Shom certainly wasn't expecting the acrid taste that one time. Never heard anyone else let out a scream like that before, or seen anyone fall down the stairs quite like that either. It always brings a smile to my lips when I'm feeling a little down, imagining Shom's in pain. Ah, well, do you know what that reminds me of? The day I gave you some black coffee when you weren't expecting it. You fell all the way down the stairs as well, didn't you, Runo? Yes, do you think we could try to forget that, please, Iris? That doesn't bring a smile to my lips at all. Shovel. The office spade. Sorry, it's a spade, I guess. Now that Mrs. Sato's gone, the shovelers aren't represented to correct me. Maybe I'll have to do it myself. All right, that was the joke. That's not a spade, Mr. Naruhodo, it's a shovel. Oh, so you're a spader, are you, Runo? What, want to battle it out? All right, I'm not going to argue with a native English speaker who has some kind of gun. That is 100% a shovel, by the way. Ah, yes, the Daruma doll I brought with me from Japan. I was intended to color in the other eye once I become a full-fledged lawyer, but it's still winking at me, like it's trying to say, I can wait, take as long as you need. Or maybe not, I'll just have to keep on doing the best I can, I suppose. I could color it in for you, Runo. Just that one eye, is it? No, it needs to be done with a bit of ceremony, Iris. It's not just a toy for coloring in, you know. It's true, I kind of like the idea behind a Daruma. Now, at first glance, my desk here might look as though it's a mess. However, it's not in a mess at all. Everything is exactly where I want it to be. Whenever Mrs. Sato looked at it, she'd put her hands on her hips and say, oh dear, Her way of saying that I should make it more orderly and a neat mess. I miss that. Aww. You sound just like Hurley, you know. He says the same about his mess. Kind of logic that transcends international borders, obviously. It's a guy thing. Us dudes have our special messes. The dude mess. Nothing on the table here now. It's... Oh, because it's hers, Miss Sasato's desk. This won't get used now that she's gone back to Japan. I'll just have to wait patiently for its old friend to return. Even now, I sometimes find myself pouring a cup of tea for Susie by mistake. That explains why I sometimes find a steaming cup on her desk here. Shocks me every time. But it's just one of your pranks, I see. It's no prank, I miss her. Aww. Look at the prawns and anemones gently swaying around in the tank. Regular cleaning, some food, and fresh seawater is all they need. And some conversation, of course. Seemed like a lot of effort at first, but it was worth it. I'm starting to be able to tell what they're thinking. Funny to think that so many people in London had aquariums like this once, when they were in vogue. You never expect to find sea anemones in the middle of the capital. I think I'll have to name them soon. Oh no, Runo's disappeared! What? Oh, I expect he's been eaten by Hurley. I think I'd prefer it if you used your imagination more when naming the sea life. Wait, what? I don't even get the joke there. I never did see what Miss Asada's room looked like. I could go in now, of course, but I don't dare. They say a young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets. Although from the laughter I used to hear when you would visit, I imagine it's mainly sweet. Oh, we used to have such fun in Susie's room. She told me all sorts of interesting things about your country, you know. Did she tell you about the samurai fart battles? No? Real. Look it up. Anyways. What shall I make for breakfast? Why don't I surprise you, Runo? What is this weird outfit? It's very strange. I can't converse with her. So, let's go. Lord Chief Justice Office. Office of Lord Chief Justice Stronghart in Britain's great capital city, London. Its great stone architecture and echoey tick of the vast cogwheels lends it an air of authority.
So, as I pray, unlimited justice works.
It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. Some things never change, like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. La 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 la, right? Doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. She's happily reading over there. Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here. Of course, I was forgetting that you've been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago. When we definitely weren't in that outfit again. When Sasato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan.
I understand you wish to speak with me.
Oh, Lord Stronghart! I trust you've been keeping well.
Let's see. Since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while. My apologies.
Oh no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space.
Good to know.
Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Male Stronghart. Lord, I can't get over his name. Because and the fact that it could absolutely be short for Ishmael is like actually amazing. They could have done Ishmael Stronghart, right? Because again, like a Maelstrom, Stronghart, right? Like it's really good. Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. I need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status.
As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I've not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it. As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do, and it is my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it.
Well, it's nice to know where I stand.
So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about.
Well, thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord.
I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today.
But actually, there's something else playing on my mind as it happens.
Bruno, just take a deep breath and come out with it.
Hey. Check this out. By the way, Lord Stronghart, about this.
The symbol of defense lawyer in the Japanese judiciary.
Oh! Didn't expect you to know that.
We'd never accept foreign students before first researching the legal systems of their home countries. But such trinkets are merely for show. The only true measure of your worth is your performance in court.
Yes, right. Hey, you see the paper? Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this?
The reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition? Of course.
No, not that. The story on the back page.
What story? The Reaper attacked.
That. Okay, what's this other one? In rather unexpected fashion, King Christian the VIII of Denmark issued a proclamation today. The results of careful recognition of who's the rightful prize his father, Frederick VI, offered for the first man to discover a new comet. That sounds like real stuff. Okay. Skeleton captures bumbling burglar. What the frick? The very figure of death? What are some of these? Women from new suffragist group. Cringe. That's woke. What do you mean women are trying to vote?
You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Poor Mr. Reaper. What happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zieks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you.
Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know.
Very well. If it interests you.
It does, strangely.
Good. That unlocked that for us.
Oh, never mind. I guess this might unlock after these. I actually came here today to ask for your permission.
Go on.
6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked. I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for how you're not... But the thing is, literally starts whining it. Oh, no, never mind. It made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. This is so... I thought it was literally he takes out his watch. It's like someone taking out the phone mid-conversation, you know? And I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes? Here it comes.
I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role.
Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. Should have been Kazuma. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his calling. If that tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Asogi was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him.
His calling, you say? Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Sorry?
The mission with which that young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was?
What do you mean? Mission? Not making any sense.
Never mind. I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions. Do you mean? As of this moment. Oh, that was much easier than I expected. I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain. Wow, I thought we'd have to, prove ourselves. I guess we just had to read books for 6 months. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's wonderful news, Runo. In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope. Of course, please tell me more. Tell me this first. All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of all will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium. It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? This is a normal... Hey, you know what? Next time you're at a party, throw this one out. Just stand around. Girl walks up and she's like, hey, how you doing? And it's like, I've been thinking. It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? You're like, wow, you're so smart. It's true. Yeah, it'll work. Trust me. Yeah. Exactly. Oh! London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. It's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible. Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly. The future of policing. Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods. Oh dear, that's alarming. Exactly! It's extremely alarming. If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure the numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim. Sorry? By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now. What? Oh, how fascinating. It all began 15 years ago. I was... blood pudding. And that more or less sums up my feelings on the matter. In the simplest of terms, of course. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission. Oh, right, yes, that's wonderful. Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it would be. She long ago sat down. Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now. Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful? I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science. Alright, tell me about this curious affair. You described it as a curious affair? Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday? Oh. No? Yes, I read about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me see. How is it described? Super high voltage, instantaneous kinesis, I think. Instantaneous kinesis, as in moving things with a click of the fingers? That's right. It's just what my herbal blends need. A dash of devil-may-care.
Whatever the serious accident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris's imagination.
It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage, and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odiasman. Odiasman. Is he an...
Oh my god. Like, Mr. Die as a man. I thought he was gonna be an odd assman. Like, he's a guy who's like, I like him with the childbearing hips, but he's a little weird because he's like, I also only like him when they wear hats. It's like, yeah, it's an odd assman, all right. Why'd I go with that example? Anyways,
an inventor and a well-known figure in society.
A large explosion. A man died? Oh, die as man, actually.
The man responsible for the experiment
was Professor Albert Harebrayne. Okay. Albert from Einstein and Harebrayne. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. That one works.
He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow on the charge of murder.
What? Murder?
If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison. There is very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation.
Great exhibition, a scientific experiment gone wrong, and murder. I feel out of my depth before I even started. Still, we should go to the prison straight away then, and try to meet with this German professor, don't you think? Definitely.
Yes. One more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper.
Oh, with Lord Van Zieks? How? Yeah, tell me.
Fortunately, Lord Van Zieks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter.
But that's incredible! They're armed with guns!
Have you ever imagined Mr. Naruhodo spinning a sword in a way that can deflect bullets? Zooms out, he puts his arms out, it's Kino!
Why was he attacked though? Do we know?
It's related to events that occurred a month ago.
Well, during the time I'm not there, so...
A leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zieks.
Oh, he does do cases without us.
But the man was acquitted. I've no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes.
Hey, if you have no doubt about that, you should probably, do something, Mr. Chief Justice. Large sums of money.
A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seemed.
Unless there's, actually no concrete evidence, then fair. But, still, I don't think you should just say this, but...
However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday.
Wait, was it Odiasman? Odiasman. But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely?
The victim's henchmen certainly seemed to think so. It was a man by the name of Assman, Mr. Odiasman.
Did you say Assman? That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition.
Yes, known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization.
Yeah, what's with the white suits and the criminal stuff, you know?
Unbelievable.
I wonder, could I ask you something, Lord Stronghart?
Try me.
Why do you use Lord Van Zieks as a prosecutor?
It's kind of cool.
All the criminals who manage to get off in court are then met with mysterious ends outside the courtroom. And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zieks first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still, something's clearly going on.
I have Van Zieks work for the prosecution service for two reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him.
But that doesn't make sense. How can you explain the way so many have died if not by someone's hand?
Van Zieks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget. 11 hours late? That's quite something. The meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. The lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man. I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh yes, where would I find Lord Van Zeeks now? I would assume he's at his office. Right, I'll go and ask him about the attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Harebrayne's defense entirely in your hands. That's a new pose. And a kind of scary one. It looks to me concerning. Like, this looks like one of evil, almost. Can you believe that? The guy who looks kind of evil will end up being our final villain? That's what I'm thinking, at least. Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. Okay, he's gone. New location. Prison? Prosecutor's office? Let's start by going to prison. Prison cell where the defendant, Professor Harebrayne, is being held. In contrast with the bright exhibition grounds, make the darkness here seem all the more oppressive. 22nd of October. Local prison cell 11. The warden said cell 11. That's this one. Oh, there's someone curled up in a ball in the back corner. Look. What's his name again? Professor Albert Harebrayne, wasn't it? Excuse me? Professor Harebrayne? German, huh? Who are you? I'm Murinos Naruhodo. I'm a defense lawyer. A lawyer? Was it something I said? A lawyer, oh no, that's almost getting into German accent. Okay. A lawyer, you say? Would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't... Yesterday's demonstration. The demonstration was... That magnificent demonstration was... It was an out-and-out success by anyone's calculations. But despite that... Oh, no one listens. I'm almost getting French. Yeah, you know, we kind of heard he didn't really have an accent. I do like the German flag on the little card there, but yeah. No, I was gonna go with the German accent. Yeah, we'll stick with it. No one listens. No lawyer believes in the science. When it's all explained, they all leave at high velocity. Now's probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a second, too. Hi. Check this out. Boom. Fascinating, yes? In Japan, where I come from, it's the symbol of a defense lawyer. Wearing it is very bracing, I find. Your words make some sense to me, but they are entirely illogical. What do you mean? Well, for example, I find this white laboratory coat that I wear for my work very bracing, too. However, in my case, there's a perfectly logical reason for that feeling. Oh, really? What is it? I purchased the wrong size by mistake. This one is too small for me. The sleeves especially are extremely bracing. I could barely move my wrists. Oh, okay. That's what you call logical, is it? Of course! He's entirely logical. That's science, Mr. Naruhodo. Okay. Hey, newspaper. How could this have happened? You must feel awful. As well as the man losing his life, the Crystal Tower was greatly damaged, too. I know what happened. It must have been that. That? The day before the demonstration, I had my usual meal of frankfurters at the hotel restaurant. When I paid the bill, they gave me 3 shillings, too much in change. But instead of saying anything, I just slipped the coins into my pocket. They're still there now.
is divine retribution for my wrongdoing. That's what this is. For a scientist, he has some very logical anecdotes, long and logical. Okay, so yeah, he's Harebrayne. That's literally his name, so... Hi. I thought that said instantaneous kisses, and I was like, oh, cute. No, yesterday's demonstration. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday. The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion, didn't he? Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure. At the same time, it was a great success. You've lost me. I saw it with my own eyes. Right there in front of me. Mr. Asmin was spontaneously disassembled. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations had predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed into the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded and Mr. Asmin, in fact, perished? Yes. I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure. What you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Asmin was an accident, correct? Which means it's not murder, it's manslaughter, technically. But the bigwigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder. I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that, I wish to be punished at once. But murder? Never in a million years. It was an accident. Simply an accident. I see. Hurley and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it's treated as an accident or murder. How exactly? Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody. On what grounds? Ah, yes, it's newly established here in Britain, the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act, SDSEA, the Super Deformed C. That one passed by me. But if the case is treated as murder, then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pour over it as much as they like. If they examine it in detail, they'll find out how it's made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from them at all costs. That's why it's imperative this whole incident is shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial. Oh, I see now. Okay, tell me about this. So, in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Yes! Or, rather, no. The devil is in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion. Sounds the same to me. You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating. Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible using a sufficient high voltage to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. That's it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see? That's my amazing hypothesis. Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science. Oh, but dare to imagine it, dare to dream of such incredible technology. Just think, one moment I could be here in this cell, and the next I could be at the Great Exhibition again. Well, yes, that would be incredible. And the next, in the mere blink of an eye, I could be at a great Parisian theater. See, Parisian. There's a reason his accent sometimes becomes French. And it's not because my brain can't separate French and German accents in the vocal registry at the moment. Oh my god. Oh my god, my arm of my microphone is like literally just about to fall off. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's like, it's literally slipping in a way that I gotta undo it. Okay, hold up. Let's move that in. Okay, and let's tighten this back up. I do very, very highly recommend an arm for a microphone. It is the best thing ever. Do not use headsets. Do not use headsets for videos. Trust me. An arm on a microphone is so much better. Anyways, the possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach. And no more hiding in wardrobes and rocky seas for 50 days? I don't really see it like that. What do you mean, Iris? Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? You'd feel like it had shrunk. My word, that's exactly right! What are the implications? What does this mean? Oops, that got Professor Bunnybrain really worried by the look of it. Clearly this is another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose. The point is, my calculations are flawless, the science works. But without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment. Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have. That's exactly it, yes. Hurley's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science. Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Assman. The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean? So you definitely knew him, okay. The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Assman, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with the man? He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I thanked my lucky stars. I see, so you hadn't really known each other until then. Money for scientific research. I'm so envious. As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel. Oh, really? An archangel, even. He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the great exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. Mr. Assman provided me with money and an exceptional engineer. Hey, he did it. The engineer did it. He produced the machine to my precise specifications. But then your dreams were blown to dust in one enormous explosion. As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Assman. I would never, ever have thought of taking the man's life. Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. What's that? Bye, dude. Off to the prosecutor's office. Let's see where this dude works. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, well, 22nd of October, prosecutor's office. Oh, so this is the legendary Reaper's office. Yes, it appears so. Oh, it sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazingly deathly atmosphere. Oh, is that... That hooded figure was so still I hadn't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who it is. Wearing white. What are you doing here? Ah! Oh, hi. Front-facing Van Zeeks! He's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're well. I am. So, who's the person over by the wall being punished or something or other? No punishment is taking place here. Oh! That's my apprentice. And he's sitting there of his own free will. Now, I will say, that's a very Japanese method of sitting, and a very Japanese-looking desk. That's all I'm gonna say. I didn't know you had an apprentice. Now, I'm not gonna say that I immediately think that this is Kazuma Asogi brought back to life, and that's gonna be a big twist, thus making my whole... Could you imagine if we finish this game with a battle with us and Kazuma Asogi comment to be quite cruel justice? But it kind of feels like it. Let's see. Regardless, the man's probably Japanese. Must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. He's very able in combat. Oh, using a sword, you say? Oh, and it's almost like he needs a new sword because we took his. That's all to say. A requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers? The Reaper. I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming, that is, such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our great courtrooms. I want to look around. Okay, so you have just a full thing there. Okay, let's start here. A lot of wine. Look at that fine collection of hollow chalices and bottles neatly lined up there. My hollowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes of the finest vineyards I visit. And I personally oversee these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world. And yet you throw them around in court like they were worthless. Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginably and repeatedly wide of the mark sometimes. Oh, you only throw away the bad ones? Is that what it is? Oh! Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisans whose work you defile. So, it's my fault? Silly me. How could I have ever thought otherwise? Lord Van Zeek's desk. Look, it's so stylish. And that's a marble chess set beside it. It's almost like... So another prosecutor has a chess set in his room. Chess? That's the Western version of our Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems. Oh, really? You'd probably like chess problems in that case. I'd love to challenge Lord Van Zeek sometime. To a bout of shogi problems. If you only really want to challenge yourself, you can always do that on your own at home. Okay. Okay, let's look at this ostentatious giant portrait. That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job of capturing Lord Van Zeek's facial features. I don't think that is. Is that Stronghart, perhaps? Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think. Oh, that reminds me! I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him. How vain. That's really not an attractive quality in a person, is it? That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious. Oh, then who is it? Oh. It's absolutely Lord Stronghart, then. Oh, look, it's a scale model of the Great Exhibition Ground. That's amazing. I wonder why it's here. Perhaps he made it take his mind off the sadness of being too busy to attend in person. Perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. Surely it's obvious that I'm using it as an investigative aid. Oh! You Nipponese have no business painting others as overly reserved. Oh, I really didn't think he'd overhear that. To be fair, we are just snooping around his office, like what else is there for him to do? Barrels? Look at all these ancient casks lining the wall there. Wonder if there's any Amontillado, you know? Casks in the Reaper's chamber. Or are they caskets? You don't think all those people who escaped conviction in court are lying inside them dead, do you? What ridiculous notions are going through your head, man? This is my collection of fine vintages. Oh. Yes, of course. Thank you for clearing that up. Bruno and I were just musing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper. I wouldn't if you hadn't invited yourselves to my office to talk nonsense within my earshot. Hi there, Mr. Clearly Japanese Man. Really looks like a punishment to me. I've never seen someone sitting like that before. He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. Do you think perhaps he's dead? If he was dead, Bruno, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he? Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's going to talk to us. He's not dead. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Hey. Check us out. I know you've seen this around my arm before, but what is it exactly? It's the mark of a defense lawyer. In Japan, at least. And what's your reason for showing it to a British prosecutor? Oh, well, I don't know, really. I can understand, at least. There's merit in reminding yourself of who helped you become what you are today. Oh. But that's a personal matter.
Something you may want to keep close at all times, not something to flaunt.
Okay, there's something going on with you and your badge. I suppose not. Thank you for understanding, though. Inspirational Roots awarded. Very nice. Okay. Oh, you see yourself in the paper, dude? Lord Van Zeeks, about the article in this paper. Yes, it seems there was a reporter nearby when the little skirmish took place. I mean, that's a sick picture of you. I get that freaking framed. Look at that. You guys are ready to do a dual tech. I had no idea it had been photographed. It was careless of me. It's sick, though. It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though. Rest assured, the police had already apprehended every last one of them. But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it? As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice. Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him? Oh, we actually got that. Cool. Lord Stronghart said that the assault last night was some kind of revenge attack? True. Carried out by henchmen of Odie Assman's criminal organization, the Assmen. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably some hoped to kill me before that happened. Odie Assman. He's always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor, but his enormous wealth came to him by underhand means, via his criminal activities. And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper. But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstances. It was a most unusual cause of death. I know about that! It was super high voltage, instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Assman died when the demonstration on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous explosion. Correct. And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like this to happen, do you? Well, no, that does seem a little far-fetched. This man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death at least. It's strange how this worked out, isn't it, Runo? I mean, what with you taking on the Professor's defense for the trial tomorrow? Maybe we shouldn't have said that out loud. What? You're going to be defending him? Oh, yeah, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest. Albert. Albert Harebrayne. That's right. Do you know him by any chance? Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together. Oh my god, they were roommates? What? Wow, okay. I'd understood that Professor Harebrayne was from Germany, though. Harebrayne's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research, that's all. So you were students together. I was in the Faculty of Law, of course, and he in science, so our paths rarely crossed. But curiously, we got along. I've not met him since my university days, where I was quite the party animal. I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. And with you, of all people, representing him. Only if I make it out of this office alive. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems. Yes, I know. Because the prosecution will be handled by me. By you? But you made it sound as if you and the professor had been friends. Which greatly sounds like a conflict of interest, but that's never a problem in the ace attorney world. We are friends, it's true. Then why would you do this? If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed. What's Lord Van Zeek's thinking? Anyways, hi, let's talk about the Reaper. What do you mean by what you said before? if you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity, does that mean...
I'm a crown prosecutor, and a mortal like any other. I'm no demigod.
But they've all died, haven't they? The people you prosecuted, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or an acquittal.
Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who, without question, deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them.
But that's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all. Alright, I forgot, you're just racist, bro. Nor was Ginny. In fact, she's ever so hardworking now.
I can't deny that since I encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this. If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my work.
Lord Stronghart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way. But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true.
The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially.
Alright, well, here's what it is. I think I figured it all out. Stronghart is killing people as a means of making the Reaper of the Bailey seem legitimate, which brings the crime numbers down. Van Zeeks is innocent, he's just doing his job, forced to take jobs by Lord Stronghart, and Stronghart is killing the people. It's my prediction. Oh!
It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives.
Do you mean to say...
I mean to say, if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly and with honor.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. It's literally... This is what's going to be happening. But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed.
If that is my fate, let God decide.
Lord Van Zeeks, I didn't know you were a religious man. Anyways, tell me about your apprentice, who's clearly Japanese.
He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor. So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Oh, like you are to Hurley then, Runo. I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with a great detective.
He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack.
Looks like he's wearing some kind of mask?
On Lord Stronghart's orders, nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity.
Why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual?
Lord Stronghart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be a good reason for his actions.
I hope you're right. Oh, we're gonna see him? I didn't see the bats over there. Oh my god. That could be him. That could be him. It's almost a Tengu mask, too. Ah!
The task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs.
Notice he bowed. A little thing, but... Nice to meet you. He's not speaking, because... Yeah. Anyways, I didn't see the bats there. Can we talk about that? Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I've never met the man before. Didn't even know he's existed, and yet... Somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. Oh my god, it's so clear. Unless there's a big twist, but... I don't know.
Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Stronghart has strictly forbidden it.
Oh, I see.
Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway?
I don't know, I mean, it's just a masked man in the corner who's clearly sitting Japanese style in a case that's about the return of a character who was a great departed soul, and I made the prediction that Kazuma might actually end up being the one that we fight later on at the end of the game, and that'd be Super Kino, and he's your apprentice. That means he might be the final boss. Not the final boss prosecutor, and I'm just saying, Anyways, the way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. It couldn't be. At least, you know what? At least my man is also thinking, right? At least my man is also thinking the same thing. Should also explain the Japanese guy that he says he knows. Yeah. Which, I mean, I want to be real. Something about that case at sea struck me as strange to begin with. So if he didn't die there, if he was just pretending, oh man. Yes, there's something I've been meaning to ask. Oh, well, yeah, what's that? That Nipponese man. Is he faring well? Sorry? The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago, with the stoop and the mustache, and the jitters. Oh, Mr. Natsume, you mean? I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Runo. He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day. I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? There's little time before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it investigating the case. Yeah, thank you for the advice, and for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Saseki-san, after a Nipponese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried. I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn up for the books. Mad scientist? Oh, you mean Professor Harebrayne? Yeah, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Van Zeeks, I think. Which we will do! Next time. Well, wait, first off. I'm gonna say next time. But first off. Wrong button. I do want to see if the bats can be looked at. Yeah, hi, what's up with that? Ah! If that was on the 3DS, I would have screamed. They were bats! Yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect. But what about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was the familiar. Just not the flying kind. He must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper, then. I think the familiar idea is more likely. Scary, though. Either way. If that was on the 3DS, you would have absolutely jumped, right? Because it would have came flying at you like a pair of breasts from Senran Kagura. Anyways, guys, like I said, we will continue next time with the Return of the Great Departed Soul. Boy, that's just right there, huh? Well, that's just right there. If I just solved the whole game, it would be a bit of a, like, on the one hand, it'd be a shame, but on the other, it means I'm just an epic gamer guy who knows everything, right? But don't tell me whether I'm correct or not, because we'll have to see. But thank you all for watching, guys. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time for some more Great Ace Attorney. Ciao. Yo.